The energy right now is quite turbulent, and I want to discuss what is happening currently in our timeline, what could be happening with you today, and also how we can navigate these changes moving forward. Now, without a doubt, we are going through some incredible changes. A lot of the changes had really ramped up during eclipse season, moving us now into further change. What do we do with that change? Who are we now that we are a little bit different? What is happening is we are moving into a higher frequency, a more expansive, more sensitive version of ourselves. So first off, I know a lot of us have gone through similar experiences. I know a lot of us are going through similar experiences. You may have had a significant career change over the last maybe couple years or even recently. And we're talking career change as in a whole new path in life. You may have gone through extreme loss. You may have gone through something catastrophic that has initiated a new opening into self-awareness and self-discovery. These situations are not unique. These situations have happened throughout our lives and many more beyond that. So why is it different now? Why is it different now where we are going through these changes and fluctuations, but in a different way? It's because we are becoming more open. We are becoming more sensitive. We are purging and releasing our old self, our old unconscious limiting false beliefs, our patterns, the traumas, the emotional weight and baggage that we've been carrying for many lifetimes. We are in the process of shedding these old patterns and returning home, returning to who we truly are. And you may hear in some of my other videos myself talking about who are we? Who are we if we haven't lived in our true selves? Well, this is a time of remembrance. This is a time where we get to uncover who we really are, what hasn't worked in the past, and aligning more with what feels right in our hearts. We come from a deep history of a lot of pain and suffering for being authentic, for being in our truth, for speaking freely, for living openly based on what we love, who we love, and all we want to be. No wonder there's a lot of pain, uncertainty, fear of being true to who we are. And no wonder there is a huge block preventing us from connecting with who we truly are. What does that mean? How does it feel like? What does it look like? Where are we going with this? The whole process of what we are going through right now is to unravel from our past conditioning and to create a new pathway towards alignment, towards authenticity, towards love, towards peace, towards understanding, towards compassion, towards ourselves and to others. But our old programming doesn't like that. Our old ego doesn't like that. Our old selves do not like it. And there is a lot happening in the society that are fighting the change, even of course within ourselves. That's why this process is so difficult. Going through loss, maybe changing a career path, maybe a breakup, maybe the separation, maybe a complete destruction of life as we know it is not unusual. The reason why it's different now is because we are able to reflect, we are able to make conscious choices and decisions, we are able to heal, we are able to return to ourselves. And it is a difficult process. I'm not going to lie, I go through my emotions as well over here. I have been, especially. But I know more and more as I move along that this is working out exactly perfectly. It is unfolding the way it's meant to unfold, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how uncertain, no matter how painful. There's a lot that we can look at under the surface. And the unconscious, the deep unconscious, our false belief patterns are the way for unraveling from what does not serve us anymore, from breaking free from the conditioning and breaking free from the unconscious behaviors that have been ruling our existence to date. Becoming more conscious and aware within ourselves is going to heighten our abilities. It is going to align us more with our path, with who we are, what feels right. And it's going to allow for new perceptions and new realities to form. I'm recording this just before the new moon in Taurus season. I was called to create this video completely out of the blue. I have a whole list of videos that I want to record, but often I will record a video based on how I feel in this time. And I feel that this video is necessary because I know especially what a lot of us are going through right now, yourself included perhaps. And I want to offer a little bit of guidance and to know that you are not alone on this journey. You are not alone with where you are. It is very confusing. It can be very daunting. It can feel very uncertain, and the emotions can be very intense. Now, why I want to record this now during Taurus season when we are approaching the new moon in Taurus is because we are moving into a sensory experience. Now, Taurus opposes Scorpio, and I had a bit of a download about these polarized archetypes, if you will, how these two archetypes really do allow us to connect with our senses. Scorpio, especially, we had the full moon in Scorpio recently, but Taurus grounding into the earth allows us to ground into our bodies, allows us to ground into the sensory experiences of the space around us, allows us to connect with the sensory experience of the pleasures in life and relationships, allows us to sense more. We are shifting into a higher state of consciousness. We are shifting into a higher state of being. And I also want to share what I had experienced recently with my body. So when you become more connected and more aware, you are naturally going to be more connected and more aware with your body. And our bodies are our last indicators of what is happening on a deeper unconscious level. Our bodies are constantly communicating with us. We are a complete unit here. Our mind, our emotions, our body, our energetic being. It is all connected and constantly working together in any given second of the day. So I had recently uploaded a video about Aubrey Marcus launching a tequila brand talking about human behavior. And in that video, I also talked about drinking. Now, this is a judgment-free zone. I don't judge anyone. You are free to do whatever you wish to do, whatever you feel drawn to do, whatever you want to do. I have also worked through my addictions and alcoholic behavior. And during the last couple of years, I have tapered it down to drinking maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. This has been almost a habitual definitely a habit of mine that I have had to work through. And when I do drink, I do tend to feel ashamed. I do tend to feel guilty for what I am doing because I feel in my mind that I'm doing something harmful to my body, that I'm doing something that isn't right. But there is no such thing as right or wrong in our society. These are all experiences. What is happening is our belief system is creating a story that we are doing something wrong. And that doing something wrong comes from an impression that we have experienced from maybe our family life, maybe from society, etc., which is historic. It comes down and it is passed down from histories of shaming, from criticizing, from fear. And so for my particular experience after the full moon, I had a couple drinks, and my body severely rejected it. I have been going through a lot of change over the last, I would say since the eclipse season, the lunar eclipse in Libra, going into the solar eclipse in Aries. My body has gone through a significant change. The work that I do, a lot of the unconscious work, especially connecting with the body, healing the body through the unconscious, has allowed me to connect more with my body. It has allowed me to tune into my senses in such a deep and profound way. And I am a firm believer that we can heal ourselves from our mind, from our unconscious self, from our beliefs that we have within ourselves. Our bodies are so powerful. Our mind is so incredibly powerful, as I'm sure you are aware. Our emotions are equally as powerful. And so everything works together, and our energetic self has been rocked during the last while, especially eclipse season. So there has been a big shakeup within our systems. And with that big shakeup, we are slowly starting to move into a higher version of ourselves, meaning more connected, letting go of old fears, old programming, old unconscious behaviors and beliefs, and tuning in more with our bodies. And our bodies are responding to the effects of what is happening within our world and within the energetic field of ours. So we have had a lot of energetic movement over the last while. So naturally, the body is going to respond in some kind of way. And this is why I want to talk about this during Taurus season, going into the new moon especially, because there is, I feel, a very strong tie to our senses, the sensory experience, and with our bodies. And I do want to encourage you to pay attention to what is happening within your body. Tune in. There is so much information to be gained from connecting with our bodies. And so going back to my experience after having a few drinks, my body was seriously rejecting alcohol. And I truly feel that I have been going through a significant I guess, upgrade, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but I do feel that my senses have become so even more heightened than they were before. My dreams are even more powerful than they were before. And my connection with my body is stronger than it was before. And I'm listening to my body, and my body does not want alcohol anymore. And this is a natural phase that I felt had been coming for a while. And now it just simply is rejecting it. So listen to your body. Listen to your body, how it feels, and especially your emotions, your thoughts are very powerful. I feel right now is a perfect time to drop into a sensory experience. Connecting with the cells in your body, your muscles, your bones, doing body scans, connecting with what is happening within yourself and how it's all connected. And especially, most importantly, do not be hard on yourself. We are all going through this, at least a lot of us are. This big change that we're in creates a great deal of uncertainty and instability, it feels. If you have been going through a big shift, a big loss, the ego, what has been familiar, what has been built as a construct of our identity, will fight it and will create stories that will interrupt the flow and interrupt the level of trust with the process. And I, of course, am speaking through experience. As I've gone through this, my ego has been very strong. And in many ways, I have been fighting this process. And I'm not saying that I'm completely perfect or I have figured this process out fully. I'm learning as I go. And my point with these videos is to share with you what I have gone through, what I have experienced, what I have researched, what I've studied, how I've also been working with others, and what I have been noticing as far as connections and correlations with many experiences that people are going through and how we can navigate this time. Because as I mentioned, it is very uncertain. It can be very daunting. It can feel very overwhelming. There may be days where you will have an incredible break and you will feel like a new person and you will have a new sense of self. There will be days where you may feel like you are going back into the depths of the unknown and into the darkness and the despair. And so these videos, I hope in my heart, are offering some guidance and support through this time, because I understand how uncertain and challenging it can be. But I will assure you that we are on our way. We are on our way. You are on your way to something greater. This is part of the process because you are unraveling from the past. You are unraveling from the fears, the limitations. And when we have a big shakeup in our lives, it's an opportunity for incredible change. We are moving into a higher version of ourselves, a greater version of ourselves, a version of alignment and truth and authenticity. So if you have been going through an incredible change in your life, if you feel like the universe is not on your side, if you feel that things are falling apart and there's a lot of frustration and sadness and uncertainty, I'm going to read a very short passages from the Messages from the Body from Dr. Michael Lincoln and give a little bit more information about what might be going on. There is a need for immediate and direct action regarding your situation. Your unconscious mind and the universe have precipitated an event that stops the direction you are going in order to bring to the surface issues that must be seen and worked on. A complete reassessment and change is required, and so dramatic intervention was necessary. I have read this passage for myself many times, and it keeps coming up for myself. The unconscious mind and the universe have precipitated an event that stopped the direction that you were going in order for changes to be made. And we have a choice in this time. We have a choice to fall back on old behaviors, old patterns, and let the ego take over, or our unconscious self to take over, or we can look within. We can look deeper and see what is actually happening within ourselves. What is the opportunity that this challenge is presenting? And how can we make constructive change for our future? And if it means to go through healing, the deep shadow work, releasing, clearing, letting go of the past, letting go of relationships that may not align with you anymore. There may be a period of mourning, there may be a period of loss, but know that it is happening for you. We just need to look for the clues that are provided. Make sure to pay attention to the body now, especially. Take note of also the senses of what may have developed and grown over the last while. And of course, maybe pay attention to the dreams. The dreams uncover a lot from our unconscious self, offering us an inside glimpse into our unconscious. We can change these patterns, and we can change our beliefs, and we can change our experiences. Nothing is set in stone. And the deeper you go, the more clarity you will receive. This is a time for us to align with trust. It is a time to feel what trust feels like. It is a time to understand what our fears are trying to tell us so that we can let them go. It is a time to reconnect with our bodies and know that we can heal our bodies fully from the inside out. This is a time to make conscious choices for our future. This is a time of empowerment and liberation to set ourselves free from the confines of our false beliefs, from our fears. It truly is a time of unraveling and returning home. Through this process of unraveling, we increase our levels of consciousness. We arrive at a state of, as Carl Jung called it, advanced consciousness, when we are being aware of our unconscious self, the detachment from our body, the detachment from our higher self. When we start to align, we become more whole. We also do arrive at a state of advanced consciousness, self-actualization, Maslow's hierarchy of needs as well. So know that this is an exciting time to be in. The energy has been low since the full moon in Scorpio, but wherever you are, whatever you are experiencing, try to find solace and peace, even with the down times. Try not to put pressure on yourself. Take the ease off and see what is happening from a greater perspective, from a greater timeline. Knowing that you are in a huge, incredible shift right now, pointing you towards a new direction that is in alignment, and you have the choice each day to take a step in that direction. So I hope this video offered a bit more guidance on your path forward and beyond as we navigate these times. I'm truly excited about our future.